It was the black, frigid night of January 1958. Captain Tom Ryan, an experienced USAF aviator, was aboard his highly classified RB-47H Stratojet reconnaissance aircraft. His mission, to spy on Soviet radar and missile sites. They were flying over the Arctic, the most desolate place on Earth, where the Cold War was fought in silence. Ryan's inner monologue conveyed both dread and resolve. I knew we were in the wrong place, over the Siberian border, minus 50 degrees. This was the part of the Cold War no one talked about. Suddenly, a terrifying red warning light flashed in the cockpit. Engine number 4 failed. The aircraft began to wallow violently in the icy air. Ryan immediately sent an encoded message to base, but the transmission cut out. They were now alone, 1,000 miles deep in enemy territory. The plane slammed into the ground. A horrific screech of tearing metal was followed by silence. When Ryan regained consciousness, he was amidst the snow. Before him lay the burning wreckage of the plane. 2 of his crew members were killed instantly. This was more than just a plane crash. It was an international incident. Ryan had only one objective: burn the plane, destroy all evidence, and die before falling into Soviet hands. Ryan and his 2 surviving crew members, Navigator Sam and Electronic Warfare Officer George, found themselves on a desolate stretch of the Siberian tundra. The temperature was so low that touching bare skin to metal would cause instant frostbite. Ryan's first priority: destroy the secret equipment and code books. He used the remaining fuel from the wreckage to torch the evidence. The fire gave them a few minutes of warmth, but also left a dark plume of smoke in the sky, an unmistakable beacon for the enemy. Ryan's USAF training kicked in. He focused only on essentials: melting snow for water, building a makeshift shelter from the rear section of the plane, and moving south towards the remote possibility of an American patrol. George, the least seasoned crew member, began to crack under the pressure. He suggested they surrender. Ryan furiously confronted him. "We are the USAF. We do not die with our secrets intact. That is the code." It was not just the cold killing them. It was distrust. Day 5. Their shelter failed. They found a small, partially frozen river, a meager sign of life. That evening, they heard the distinct sound of engines in the distance. Soviet patrols! All 3 scrambled to bury themselves beneath the snow. The Soviet MiG jets had located their charred debris, and the Soviet ground forces were now hunting them down. Ryan made a grim calculation. They had to split up. If they stayed together, they would all be captured. If they separated, the chance of survival was close to 0. A fatal decision. Ryan ordered George in one direction, Sam in another, and he took a third. Ryan made them swear not to reunite until they reached an established American outpost. This was military strategy delivered with a heart full of human sacrifice. Ryan was now completely alone. He walked relentlessly, but the vast, featureless snow offered no sense of progress. Starvation and cold began to attack his mind. He suffered hallucinations, believing he was talking to Soviet soldiers, revealing secrets. He forced himself to remember his USAF training. If you hallucinate, do not stop. Keep moving. Then, on a small rise, he found a stack of rocks. It was not a natural formation. It was Sam's work. Sam had left a secret Navy code message for Ryan. "Head west. I found fuel." Fuel? In the Arctic? Ryan dismissed it as Sam's final delusion, but he changed course and started heading west. Day 10. Ryan found an old, rusting Soviet weather station. It was abandoned. Inside, he found broken Soviet equipment and a crude, functional radio. Ryan managed to repair the broken radio. He had only 5 minutes of battery life. He used his USAF call sign to send a quick, encrypted emergency message. The message was intercepted by the Army Air Force Base in Alaska. The base commander immediately recognized this was a highly sensitive espionage mission and ordered an immediate extraction. The rescue mission. The USAF deployed an HC-54 Rescue Skymaster. The pilots were instructed to fly low over the Soviet border at extreme risk. Ryan heard the distant thrumming of the helicopter, but close behind him, he heard the roar of Soviet snowmobiles. He was trapped. Ryan drew his rifle. He made his final decision. If captured, he would use his rifle to take his own life before they could take him. The helicopter landed. Ryan scrambled aboard. In the final second, he fired 2 shots into the remaining Soviet machine gun near the wreckage, ensuring the hardware would not fall into enemy hands. Ryan was saved. Sam and George were never found. But Ryan's story became a symbol of the terrible truth of the Cold War, where USAF bravery and Army discipline converged for a spy mission that could never be publicly acknowledged.